This episode is brought to you by Answer Force and Home Advisor. So I teed up the show to discuss a little bit about how photography is one of those major differentiators between companies, of our type, the painting contractors, and other competitors. Now, I imagine that in your line of work, you talk to a lot of different people in that work in the home space and just using Matterport to show models of buildings and architecture in different ways. What do you see as some of the challenges in trying to differentiate yourself from the competition?
That's a really good question. I think part of the problem is just kind of getting creative with how you differentiate yourself. Because you go and I think it's pretty common to look at other people's websites and what they're doing and just kind of emulate or copy that because it seems
Mhm.
to be working. That's what the competition is doing. But if you really want to kind of take it to the next level, it does require a little bit of creativity and kind of getting outside the box.
Yeah, exactly. And, for a lot of contractors, I think, especially paint contractors, some of them are pretty creative folks. I think that's why out of all of the trades, the paint world seemed the most attractive because there's something artful about it. There's aesthetic beauty to it. But others aren't as creative. They just kind of are like, okay, let's just pick the color and let's do a good job and be good technicians of the work. Why do you think people struggle with creativity when it comes to their marketing and their showcasing of their work? Why what is the struggle there?
Um, so creativity is, it's definitely not something that I think people are born with. It's a learned practice, right? I would say that it goes with anything else. Just like painting is not something that anybody can do. It's not, it takes practice. You need to learn how to do that and work at it before you get good at it. I mean, I've seen painters doing my place, and it's amazing how fast and accurate they can be simply because
Mhm.
they've done it for, so many years, where I would have to be like, with the tape and whatnot and being super careful. And it would just take me forever to do what they can do in probably, a fraction of the time. So it's the same thing with creativity and kind of having that understanding of what to look for. It's just a matter of practice, playing around with it, getting to know what it is, what you like, what pleases your eye versus,
Mhm.
something else. So
Yeah.
it's just practice.
Absolutely. And you actually have an art background. You mentioned that you'd gone to art school. You have this rich experience with photography and taking photos. Um, how did as an artist, what in addition to the practice, what would you recommend? Like, how do people really capture the essence of what they're trying to display and show to the world?
Yeah. So it depends on the type of photography that you're, looking to do and what the purpose of that photography is. Uh, but you know, it, if you're trying to, there's kind of I guess, a big difference between the different types of photography. It's a radical range, right, from macro to landscape. But
Mhm.
I would say in this case, when you're talking about photography for the purpose of, showcasing a product, uh, I think you want to consider lighting and how that affects the product, the look of it, color. Most people, I mean, in this case, I shouldn't say most people, everybody looking at your product, they're looking at it on a computer screen. So
Mhm.
understanding that and the fact that everybody's computer screen is a little bit different in color, uh, having, and you're talking about swatches, and painters have a really good sense of color on a swatch. But with a computer screen, it's never going to look exactly like what it does on the swatch. So kind of
Right.
getting an understanding of getting it at least as close as possible to what's on the swatch, in how to accomplish that. And then, I think with 360s and being able to capture like the full spherical image, everything you can
Right.
see, allowing the user to really kind of look around and navigate, seeing what they want to see as opposed to what you want to show them. Kind of makes it easier, really.
Mhm.
You don't have to think as much about angles, positioning, and things like that, and how you're framing the shot, because you're not really framing anything. You're just capturing the entire scene.